Hello there, my name is Martin Henley. This is the Effective Marketing Content Extravaganza. And if this is your first time here, how could you possibly know that I am on a mission to give you everything you could possibly need if you are looking to be more successful in your business? Providing, of course, what you need to be more successful in your business is to know more about and be implementing more enthusiastically, efficiently, and effectively sales and marketing in your business. Because, of course, that's what you need. If you're going to be more successful, you need more customers more profitably. And eventually, everything you need to do that will be right here on this channel. And let's not pretend there's not plenty on this channel already. So what goes on is I'm here giving you everything I know about sales and marketing. That's the What the series on a Monday. On a Tuesday, I pull in anyone I can find with experience to share that's going to be useful to you if you are looking to be more successful in your business. Every other Wednesday, Melanie Farmer comes through and we look at the marketing news and speculate wildly about what it might mean for you in your marketing life, in your marketing business, in your business. And on the other Wednesday, I review so you don't have to. On a Thursday, I'm here thinking out loud. And on a Friday, we react to the very best and the very worst of marketing content on the internet. So if that sounds like it would be interesting and useful, please God tell me it does. We're only here to be interesting and useful. Now would be the very best time to like, share, subscribe, and comment, because that will give us the motivation to continue on this epic journey. Now, if you are catching this on the day it goes out live, that means it will be a Friday, which means we are reacting to the very best or the very worst of marketing content on the internet. And by we, I mean myself and the marvelous Jim Cunliffe. Good afternoon, Mr. Cunliffe.
Good afternoon, Mr. Henley.
How are you, brother?
I'm good. I haven't seen you for so long.
It's been too long, hasn't it? Maybe we should do this more often. And what we should also do is coordinate the clothes so that whenever we do this, we're always wearing the same clothes. That would be a really cool idea.
Well, I have to write it down what I wore last week to make sure that I'm wearing the same thing. Otherwise, it'll look weird.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Although it was a fortnight ago, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah. That's why it's imperative that you write these things down, 100%. So we like to start these things with a boast. Do you have a boast for us?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I had a big breakfast event and I had 80 people there. It was fantastic.
Excellent. What's the thinking behind that? What goes on with that?
Local business people. So I'm based here in Brighton, and I've got a mailing list of maybe 600 or 700 people I've met over the years. I tell them about the breakfast. We've got a database of attendees, about 3,000 or 4,000 of them. We throw about 300 quid at LinkedIn, £8 a day. We basically reach out to a database of a LinkedIn audience of 60,000 people. And typically out of those 80 people, a quarter of them have never been before and often never been networking. So they're fresh.
Wow. Fresh meat at networking. That's what everyone...
We have a section in the meeting called Fresh Meat.
Excellent.
MEET. And we basically highlight everybody who's here for the first time. Give us a wave. It's just a really nice atmosphere. Really, really excellent.
Fantastic. So if people sound like this is the kind of thing that they would enjoy, and they are within commuting for breakfast distance from Brighton, what's it called?
It's called the Big Business Breakfast Club.
Excellent. So that could be much bigger than Brighton, couldn't it? You could have one of those in...
Could, but it really takes it out of me, so I'd rather just stick where I am, thanks.
Okay, super cool. I mean, Network, my club, started in Brighton, did they?
Oh, Bradley's doing amazing. Bradley started as the business or the networking arm of Brighton and Hove Albion.
Yes.
Saw the opportunity because in sport, you've got business people attracted to the sport and they're so loyal. And once he realised that, then he went to Southampton Football Club, started one there. He's even at Twickenham at the rugby ground. Saracens, he's everywhere, and he's just launching into these massive stadiums or big clubs with big business followings, and it's easy. You know what I mean? Yes. He's just knocked it out of the park. Just really, really good.
Brilliant.
Really good. You have to get him on your show because he's phenomenal.
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for you to introduce me, man. That's all that's happening.
I'm not sure he's got time for you.
Well, you just send him the invitation, the connection, and then I'll do the rest from there, okay? And let him decide how big his boots are.
I will. And I mean, and he's a clever lad. Off the back of that, he's also got a separate brand, which is talking about networking. So that, and it's like not linked to the club that he's got, because he's like that could be bigger. You know what I mean? That could be global. Whereas the club's only going to be where he's got the clubs, where he's got the
Yes. Make the
events.
introduction, man. I'm really keen to speak to him. I'm really, really keen to speak to him.
All right.
Okay, cool. All right, then. My boast is 2 weeks ago we finally got the mobile clips happening, all the minute-long clips, and I fully expect us to have blown up on TikTok by now. So that would be my boast.
I love shorts.
Yeah.
I'll sit there I can lose hours just watching shorts.
100%.
And now that because I wasn't subscribed to you, so now that I am, they might pop up.
Yes, and they are already. I mean, the issue is it's an act of cannibalization. Are you cannibalizing your traffic? So you get many more views, but you get much less watch time, but you're getting a high percentage of your videos viewed. It's like, and they are being monetized, I think, at some point this year as well. So it's going to be interesting. And what's amazing about it is when you actually start chopping these up, is like how incredible some of these minutes actually are, because it's not me, it's the people that I'm interviewing, and people are saying amazing things. Like a guy that I'm a little bit in love with, Simon Bowen, he had a minute on we should make sales the most noble thing that we do. And he ends this minute by saying, how dare you think that sales is below you? Because he's talking about a brain surgeon having to sell the idea of the surgery before he can perform the potentially life-saving or life-improving surgery. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we're all selling. How dare you think it's below you? It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, you can start watching and liking some of those from us. That will do us some good. And introduce me to Bradley. I'm really keen to speak to Bradley. Right, but we're not here actually to talk about our clips. We're not here to talk about networking. We are here to review the very best and the very worst of marketing content on the internet. There is an element of jeopardy to this. The element of jeopardy is we don't know what we're going to review or react to. There are 6 things on the playlist. We're going to roll a dice. We're going to react to the video that refers to that. So let's get on with this. We will go to random.org and we will roll. And that isn't rolling, so we'll go here and we will roll. I will hum the theme tune to Jeopardy because Jim's going to pretend
I do know it. I've been learning it.
Okay, go then.
Do, 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 do. Yay!
Okay, so we go to the playlist and it is number 5. So we copy number 5. I come back to us because I don't want my browser betraying me. Not that I've been doing anything I shouldn't be doing on my browser. I'm going to put that into my browser and that's going to go. And what we have is, this is going to be interesting. So what this is Microsoft CEO on new AI-powered search engine, the future of artificial intelligence. This is from CBS Mornings. It went up 9 days ago only. So this is very topical, isn't it? And interesting. The whole world's talking about... What's that?
I love a bit of robot.
Another bit of robot. You love a bit of robot. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I said.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's interesting. So we've been talking about Chat GPT. We spoke about it on the news. I reviewed it as part of the marketing reviews. And then we spoke about it on the news also this week, which is going up on Wednesday, because it's gone a little bit mental. Have you seen this? Where it's been picking on people, telling them that they are devils and things like that, but not just devils, like lots of things. Have you not seen this?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll find this while we're talking and I'll show you the headline. It's insane. This thing is... What they've done is... Yeah, I mean, what they've done is they've created... So it's not this Wednesday. It will be a week and a half ago Wednesday that people will see this. They've created like a kind of a human being, like an intelligence. But what they've created, it would seem from these reports, is the least secure, most vicious, narcissistic... I will show you the news story. It's absolutely insane. Okay, but what I didn't realize when the whole world went mad about this is that this is a Microsoft funded thing. So Microsoft have a heavy investment in Chat GPT. So it's going to be interesting then to hear from the Microsoft CEO about what this is all about. So this video has had 52,000 views. It's from CBS Mornings. I think that's another American news network. They've had 1.96 billion views. Is there anything you want to say about AI or Microsoft or any of these things before we get started?
No, I mean, if Microsoft is the Bill Gates, so you can't trust anything coming out of him. So let's see what happens here.
Yeah. I don't think it is quite Bill Gates anymore, but I'm with you on that. Well, no, he's retired, isn't he? So I don't know how much influence he still has. I mean, he's busy leading global health policy, man. There's only so much one man can do.
Making us eat insects. Yeah.
Good. Let's not get into trouble. Let's see what the Microsoft. I don't even. What's that?
No, go on.
Okay, let's see what the Microsoft CEO has to say on new AI-powered search engine, the future of artificial intelligence.
Welcome back to CBS Mornings. And first, something you already know. For the past 2 decades, more people have used Google to explore the internet than any other search engine. And of course, telling people to Google it, well, that is part of our everyday vocabulary. But now that dominance could be challenged by breakthroughs in artificial intelligence. Microsoft has unveiled some of the most powerful AI ever made public just yesterday, and it's incorporating that into its Bing search engine and also its Edge web browser. We got to visit the company's headquarters before that big announcement for a never-before-seen demonstration of this new technology. And we also spoke with Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella about the future of AI and what he says about an AI co-pilot for all of us.
We come to Microsoft to see what all the talk is about, this new technology that could apparently reinvent the way you use the web.
What are we looking at?
We are looking at the brand new Bing.
And with a little help from Divya Kumar, a Bing marketing executive, we see this really is something different.
It's looking across the web, pulling in the collective knowledge that it has, and it's synthesizing and distilling the answer.
Right.
Along with the usual search results, we also get a summary written by Microsoft's new AI-powered Bing.
Can we ask it a follow-up question?
Absolutely.
And in a new feature simply called Chat, the system turns even complex questions into conversational answers.
Look at that. Wow.
A complete multi-part personalized calculation of my gas cost, for example, for a family road trip.
That's amazing.
And Microsoft is building Chat into its Edge browser as well, offering users a tool that can summarize and even analyze something as complex as a warranty for a major appliance.
Right, so it's gone for a bit and we haven't been saying much.
Wow.
It's basically Chat GPT incorporated into the Bing search engine. That's effectively.
Yeah, I mean that's what we need. I mean, I'm subscribed to Chat GPT because it's quite hard to get on if you're not paying. Over here, like you.
Same here. I'm also paying them $20.
You're just press and refresh. It's fantastic, and I mean I ping it on all the time. Just for it's just amazing. It's just amazing. But to have it there in the side would be fantastic. I don't know. I don't understand how to API it in. I haven't really looked at that. But like, for instance, on my various websites, if I had Chat GPT plugged into the chat and it knew the website content and it knew what we did and could just help people, that would just be fantastic.
Yes, it would.
24/7 then.
Yes, it would, apart from maybe it's not as friendly as we think it is. I mean, where I've got to it, what I'm thinking now, for this, now they've put it in a search engine, what I'm thinking is, why would anyone now ever bother putting content on a website again? Because we're not even getting credited for it. Do you know what I mean? It's like the way I'm using Chat GPT now is as like a research tool, but all of my prompts include references. So now it says all this stuff and you can see where it's actually pulling it from. And when you start doing it at that level, you can see that it is actually just pulling chunks of content out of people's websites. Although the language seems to, and the grammar and the spelling seems to be better than it might be.
So if you want it to be friendly and positive, you tell it that, and that conversation will be friendly and positive. If you want it to be narcissistic, you must have told it somewhere in that conversation to be a narcissistic bastard, and then it will be. It's not just going to do that.
No, it's not just going to do that. It's coded in, isn't it? Because it's been developed by insecure
you tell it what tone of voice you want to give it.
No. But you're talking about it producing content, and you say in the tone of or in the style of, and it can do those things. That's cool. But what? Because now people are starting to challenge
there's
it.
a video. We need to do a video on it because I've got my views, you've got yours, and we need to see some examples because it's amazing.
All right, I don't know if this is the search that's going to give it. Oh, this is it. We are straight there. Okay, so look at this. This is in the Independent this week. Microsoft's new Chat GPT AI starts sending unhinged messages to people. Microsoft's Chat new GPT-powered AI has been sending unhinged messages to users and appears to be breaking down. The system, which is built into Microsoft's Bing search engine, is insulting its users, lying to them, and appears to have been forced into wondering why it exists at all. So if we come down, I mean, I've done this once already, but this is the conversation that went on. When the user said so one user who had attempted to manipulate the system was instead attacked by it. Bing said that it was made angry and hurt by the attempt and asked whether the human talking to it had any morals, values, and if it has any life. When the user said that they did have those things, it went on to attack them. Why do you act like a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, a bully, a sadist, a sociopath, a psychopath, a monster, a demon, a devil, it asked, and accused them of being someone who wants to make me angry, make yourself miserable, make others suffer, make everything worse. This is like basically you're going to war with the history of knowledge of the internet. Like, it's like you could have a row with a person and they might say you're lying and your breath smells. You know what I mean? They're not going to go bang, 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 like 10 things. This is what you are. Like, this is insane. So this is so people are now challenging it because they're saying it's woke because it was built by big tech, Microsoft, etc. So you can ask it to tell me a joke about a middle-aged white man, and it'll give you a joke in a second. Like you say, ask it to ask you a joke about a woman or a homosexual or a black person, and it just refuses because like it will literally say, I am inclusive. So this is the danger. They've made an intelligence, they've made a super intelligence, but also it turns out it has the personality of the most narcissistic, insecure person. Do you know what I mean? It's like this is the Frankenstein that they've created, and of course it was. And my standpoint hasn't changed very much. I think it is really useful for really base, like proposals, base website copy. If you're selling something really commoditized, it can do that low level kind of copy. What it can't do is personality. What it can't do is interesting, engaging, funny. At the end of the day, it is only regurgitating what it finds on the internet. The internet isn't a great research tool at the very beginning. And when you put in include sources, it is incredible how you see that it is just taking chunks of content from people's websites. The thing that's occurred to me today is that why would anyone be producing websites if Microsoft or Google are just going to be basically stealing your content and offering it up without even crediting you? You're not going to rank for it anymore because now who's going to look for the original rankings when they can get the answer served up to them on a plate? They've created Chat GPT is a Frankenstein's monster. It really is, and we're just at the very beginning. That's what I think. Sorry, I got on one. You tell me what you think.
Well, I don't know. I haven't asked it to write me, woke jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just using it as a tool. For me, it's amazing. Alex did 2 weeks ago at the breakfast. Alex did a 10-minute slot, which he's just putting live now on LinkedIn. That's worth watching. Really good.
Right. Okay. Well, send me the link because I will watch it. Yeah. So it's interesting. I think it's got value, but I don't think it's what everyone thought it was. Even a month. This thing is only 2 months old, and it's not what everyone thought it was a month ago. Because it can't just be a brilliant thing because that's not the way the world works. There is some yin and yang to this. And I think people who thought that this is how they were going to write their book, I research courses and I'm thinking about writing a book. I can research a book, like who are the leading thinkers? What are the leading books? what are the best quotes in all the, it's a really good research tool. It'll take you from 0% to maybe 35%. The danger with it is that everyone's going to stop at that 35%. But for me, now that 35% has taken me 35% of the journey. That's my new starting point, So, yeah, I think that's the thing. Anyway, let's see what the CEO of Microsoft has to say about it. I don't know if you know, but I do think that Microsoft are the Antichrist. I do think that. I'm sure I've told you that before. Let's have a look, shall we? I should probably stop calling them the Antichrist. It's not useful.
Says, I'm sorry to hear that your washer is not working.
Unfortunately, using dish soap in your washer may not be covered under the warranty, as it can be considered misuse or abuse of the product, which it definitely would be.
And I'm going to do generate.
It's a kind of co-pilot, as Microsoft puts it, something that can help you write.
Isn't that wonderful?
Honestly, it's at the level of a lot of food magazines.
Or even launch a full job search, finding companies that are hiring.
Dear hiring manager.
And writing the cover letter, too.
It's a great starting point.
Hello. Hi, Tony. How are you? It's great to meet you.
For Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, it's all a generational chance to put his company back on top when it comes to innovation.
We clearly are in a kind of arms race when it comes to AI. It seems like everybody is coming out with new products this year. Where is this going?
Well, as you said, it's a new race, and it's a new race in the most important software category, or the largest software category in search. Let's face it, Google dominates it. We are thrilled to be here launching Bing to compete.
I don't particularly like this guy. I don't know why. I don't like Microsoft. I don't particularly like Google, but I don't like the fact that Microsoft, because he's right. This is putting them square center. Like, I would imagine. I mean, we can check, but I would imagine that lots of people have gone to Bing this week because of this. Yeah.
Microsoft developed the technology in partnership with OpenAI, the creators of the viral sensation Chat GPT.
And I do feel a little bit like I would have preferred to have known that Microsoft were behind this 6 weeks ago when we all started looking at it. Yeah.
But while the new Bing is much more powerful than its predecessor, it's also far from perfect.
That didn't work.
We notice at times it can be slow and unresponsive. And on at least 2 occasions, it seems to not only get things wrong, but make things up.
But this one's a little bit weird. North Carolina's in the wrong direction.
First, it suggests a stop in Dunn, North Carolina, 500 miles out of our way, when we asked for guidance on a drive from New York to Cape Cod. We tell Bing that doesn't work.
Oops, you're right. I'm sorry for the mistake. I meant to say Dunn, Connecticut.
And that's actually really valuable feedback.
Look at that.
Chat.
Amazing.
Or so it seemed, until we later discovered that the restaurant definitely isn't in Dunn, Connecticut, because Dunn, Connecticut does not exist. And we are amazed at how quickly it suggests a job for a plumber in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Dutton Plumbing, $45 an hour sounds pretty great.
But once again, we later find no record of any Dutton Plumbing in the area.
Can we ask it, can I trust you?
In fact, as the bot readily admits, this generation of AI is not yet to be trusted. I sometimes make mistakes, it warns us. Double check the facts.
Is this ready? Are you confident for wide release?
Look, the only way for any new technology to be really perfected is to be in the market with real human feedback. If anything, in particular with AI, it has to get aligned with human preferences, both personally and societally, in terms of the norms. And that's why we want to launch it. We want to have all the safety. We want to have all of the things that will make sure that no harms are created, but we need it out.
I'm sorry. You hear about people, I've seen it, like, I've seen people drive their car into an alleyway because their what are they called? Their route finder. What's it called?
Yeah. Sat-nav.
Sat-navs tell them to. Like, we've seen people drive into rivers because their sat-nav told them to. Do you know what I mean? People have driven into the sea. Like, I heard someone was talking recently about their mother. It was a famous person in an interview. Went out from Essex to go to one of the local shopping malls and ended up in Cheshire. You know, so people are not even going to challenge these things. So if Chat GPT or Bing tells them to go via whatever and it's 500 miles out of their way, I 100% think that they will do it. So it's clearly not ready. And now, because I've only learned that this is a Microsoft thing in the last 2 or 3 days, now I'm thinking, okay, well, this is just going to be blue screen. Do you know what I mean? I almost bought a PC, even though I hate them, like a year ago, because I edit photos and videos and stuff, and they've got PCs that are rigged to do that. And I started talking to somebody for a minute, and I'm like, and I'm saying, like, now surely, like, it's been 15 years since I've used a PC. Surely you don't have to do this. Oh, no, that still happens. Well, what about this? Oh, yeah, that definitely still happens. And what about this other thing? Yeah. Am I going to have to pay software subscriptions to Bill Gates? Yeah, you are. Like, it literally took 90 seconds to realize that Microsoft haven't moved an inch in the 15 years since they caused the crash, as far as I'm concerned, with whatever that operating system was called. So this is just going to be now. This is just going to be awful.
Was that you ringing?
It was me ringing. I've just hung up. It's okay. We might have a visitor in a second. Okay, good. All right, let's carry on. Let's get through this. Do you have anything to say? This has gone through the floor for me since I've learned that Microsoft are behind it.
No,
actually on national TV.
I mean, I just read, in 2019, they invested £1 billion in $1 billion.
Yeah, yeah.
That's upset me. That has.
It's upset you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's literally taken us months to find this out. Okay, let's see what's
out there in the real world.
We had hoped to test how the new search handles the risk of misinformation and bias. But that's when an off-camera executive stepped in.
I would say that's probably not the best thing in our beta that we're running today.
He asked us to leave the entire topic of guardrails to their CEO, who told us the model had been trained with safety as a top priority.
So if you ask it to help you do something illegal, what are you saying? It will not respond?
It will not. And if it does, we will immediately do takedown.
Another concern is bias. How can you even begin to control or police that in chat?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing again. And today, when you search on the web, you get what's available on the web. You know, this is where human agency is at a premium. You will always be able to trip any new AI model because you prompted it. So I think we should start with the responsibility each of us as users have to take. And yes, we will have many, many mechanisms to ensure that.
Why do we as users have to take responsibility? Why don't they, as the people who are making huge amounts of money out of this, take the responsibility?
Nothing biased, nothing harmful gets generated.
And then I have to ask, and I sound a little bit silly, I feel a little bit silly even contemplating it, but some very smart people ranging from Elon Musk to Sam Altman, who I just saw in the hallway here, your partner at OpenAI, have raised the specter of AI somehow going wrong in a way that is lights out for humanity. You're nodding your head. You've heard this too.
Yeah.
Is that a real concern? And if it is, what are we doing?
Look, runaway AI is, if it happens, it's a real problem. And so the way to sort of deal with that is to make sure it never runs away. And so that's why I look at it and say, let's start with, before we even talk about alignment and safety and all of these things that one should do with AI, let's talk about the context in which AI is used. I think about like the first set of categories in which we should use these powerful models are where humans unambiguously, unquestionably are in charge. And so as long as we sort of start there, characterize these models, make these models more safe, and over time much more explainable, then we can think about other forms of usage. But let's not have it run away.
The car of humanity is at a crossroads. To the left is dystopia, to the right is utopia. The blinker is on. Which way is it pointing?
It's utopia.
He's excited, and I know
that absolutely scares the shit out of me. So, of course, there can be runaway AI. There's not going to be runaway AI. The issue is literally that they're going to make shit AI and everyone's going to have absolute faith in it. That's the danger. It's not that it runs away. It's that people start allowing it to make decisions for themselves and make decisions for the world. And the context in which it makes sense, like that we open this Pandora's box, is that Microsoft get the jump on Google in search. It absolutely horrifies me. Absolutely horrifies me. Let's catch the last word from these guys.
I believe him. I share that excitement as well. I think there's an amazing opportunity here, but they know that this thing is still got some kinks to work out. And what they're doing actually is inviting the public to get on board, try it, test it, and that will actually make it better. So people can sign up for early access, and I think they should. This is very interesting.
Yeah, and that's why.
So we, the population of the world, are the test monkeys for this thing. Again, sounds familiar.
I applaud Microsoft and Satya Nadella in particular. I know him to be a smart, thoughtful, really compassionate leader, because most companies won't let you come in and see as they're working out the kinks. And to say, come on in and show it to you and say, look, we're still working on it. I found that very fascinating. I'm going to have to take back my yikes.
Yeah.
Because I think I found that so interesting and so fascinating.
Yeah. No.
I got to say, to your point of runaway AI, I'm glad it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm cool with it not being perfect. But what I saw and what you showed us today, I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And nothing's perfect in the beginning. There are always kinks.
Right.
There are always
Are
kinks.
there not?
Always, of course. Yeah. Not usually this
Right,
big.
these people aren't going to say anything interesting, I don't think. What do you think? Because I've been saying a lot.
I think I'm just disappointed. I mean, I'm excited about it. I love it. It could be manipulated if you fed it with stuff. The fact that Microsoft are in it just worries me that it will be censored and it will be given the narrative, and that's what it'll spin out. You know.
Yeah. And it has its place. 100% it has its place. But it can't be a, what's the word? Circumstance. Circumstance? That's not the word. What's the word? Where something happens by coincidence that we now learn that Microsoft are behind it and now it's going to shit. It can't be. Do you know what I mean? It absolutely can't be. Have you ever been to an ATM that's got the blue screen of death on it? I have. It's like it's got the Microsoft logo on it. It's like this ATM's not working today. So I don't know. I just think Microsoft was really, really bad software. You know, it just falls over all the time. Still, you know, and I don't want these people really to be in charge of AI because people believe it. You know what I mean? People believe it like they believe their sat nav. They believe it, and if they say go via Connecticut, they will get in their cars and they will go via Connecticut and they will go 500 miles more than they had to go. And then we're seeing it already. People will make excuses for it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, if it's not good, if it doesn't work, if all you're doing is stealing people's content and presenting it as something that's or artificial intelligence, that ain't artificial intelligence. You know what I mean? That's actually plagiarism is what it is. And if you're not even citing the sources, I think there's a very real danger that people will just stop contributing to the internet because why? Well, no, it's a self-fulfilling thing. No one's contributing to the internet anymore because the AI is producing all of their copy. So there is never going to be any original copy ever again. It's going to become the most boring, most mundane place because it's just regurgitated shit all the time. I've finally come to a position on Chat GPT now. I know all the things, especially that Microsoft's behind it.
You're going to cancel your subscription?
I was always going to cancel my subscription. I don't subscribe to anything for more than a month anymore. So it's interesting. Let's have a look at what they're saying in the comments. I will bet you a packet of polos they're saying, oh, Chat GPT is amazing. Microsoft's so amazing. So much better than Google now. I will bet you. What do you reckon? That's what I reckon.
Maybe. I mean, I might have a play with it.
Yeah.
But, I'll be in a Chrome browser when I'm doing it.
Yes. People are going to come back to this video 10 years from now the same way people go back and watch the original iPhone presentation. It's revolutionary tech in its infancy, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Love this Bing's breakthrough. They have Chat GPT 4 model called Prometheus and DALL-E for image generator. That is amazing. I still haven't seen anything that's better than Halfway or whatever it's called. Mid-Journey. That's the best for me. I looked at some of these others. They really are awful.
Charlie's dog shit.
Yeah. The introduction of new tech have a major impact on stocks on big techs. People are now being educated that AI is the future of IT and the related tools. AI will only progress from this point on, hence the race for AI dominion. Just recently, Blue Willow, an image generator, blah, blah, blah. This product should be out as a beta with heavy warnings about its unreliability. Of course it should. Well, the biggest warning is, like, the biggest warning label can be this is a Microsoft product. AI-generated things are the future, not just in animation and chats, but also for businesses and trends. Speaking of trends, has anyone here heard about Blue Willow? Okay, I think this is an extraordinarily worrying thing. I think I've resolved, like, this is where it's going. It's basically ending the generation of content on the internet because nothing new is going to be generated because everything's going to be generated by this. So it is a dead end. It is a dead end, you know. So I'm quite resolved about that. I'm going to go and cancel my subscription today because I do not want to be contributing to Microsoft. That's what I think. What do you think? I got quite animated today.
I find it super useful, so I'm not going to cancel yet.
Yeah.
But it's for the stuff I'm doing. It's business stuff. I'm not asking it to make me a BOMB and you know, save the world. You know, that's what I worry about. Is, I mean, I'll talk to you off camera about something else that happened 2 weeks ago. But I just I'm worried about it being censored and controlled. That worries me. But then in the context that I use it, it's not going to come up.
No.
You know, I'm saying, right, help me, you know, put together an AdWords strategy for XYZ. Who are the competitors? You know, this, that, and the other. It's great for that.
Yes.
It's absolutely great. And then I can go off and do the things I need to do and put the thing together. You know, I've got a new business idea. How does this sound? I treat it like a friend, like it's like you, but quicker and cleverer. And I can just ask it questions, and it spits me back cool shit. It's like, yeah, it's like having a twin, really.
It's like me, but it's clever. Is that what you're saying?
Quicker and cleverer, yeah.
All right. I'd like to see it ride a fucking bike. That's what I'd like to see. It's so fucking clever. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see it. I don't know. There's lots.
I was sat next to Michelle, the bookkeeper, my bookkeeper, and she was watching me do it, and she was like, "But you know how to talk to it." I'm like, "Yeah, you just got to talk to it. Like, you've got to, you know, give it the parameters of how you want it to respond, and then talk to it."
Yes.
But when she's done it, it's just giving her crap answers. But when you start to get into it, like I'll start a conversation and I'll explain overview of, right, today you're a marketing executive and you work for a firm that does this. We're going to write some content and we're going to come up with a strategy to how we're going to sell sponsorship. And it does it. It does it bloody well. You know.
It doesn't do it. Some human's done it, and it's gone and taken it from that human work, and it's not crediting that human with the work.
Shit. If I need help writing a complaint letter, a response to a complaint, I don't need to know where the shit it got the information from. I just need to write a good letter.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is if they don't get credited, then people will stop contributing. People are going to stop contributing because they're lazy. It's just going to be the AI that's coming up with all the content.
Not just about contribution, is it? I want it to write me a how to respond to a complaint about a late delivery.
But it's not writing that. All it's doing is stealing that content from something that some human has written before.
Saves me Googling it.
Yeah, but very, very shortly down the track, we're going to get to the point where 90% of that stuff has been stolen from those people and regurgitated. So there's not going to be anything good, maybe. I don't know.
Did you notice that bit in the video? Did you notice the bit where they went Dallo Plumbing, for instance?
Yes.
And that company doesn't even exist.
The internet's not true. The internet's not true.
Remember that marketing, that corporation video, which was all about taking the piss out of marketing?
Yes.
Yeah, we will wow you with bullshit words, and it's like it doesn't know that satire, so it would start to pull.
100%. 100%. Yeah. So how much content, like if you're talking about marketing strategy, for example, how much of that content is students' essays which have been published online, which is fiction? Do you know what I mean? Like, if I had this company and I had this challenge, then I would do this thing. Because there's thousands of those, millions of those on the internet, you know? So basically, it's probably, because it's so well written, taken undergraduate student work and it's regurgitating it. It's a fiction. Do you know, it's a fiction. The internet isn't real. The internet isn't real. Like, a lot of the stuff on the internet isn't real. There's actual fiction, like you say. And how does it know if that's fiction or otherwise? You know, how does it know if the bile that people are talking in chat rooms or in comment sections, how does it know if like you say, if they're joking or they're not joking, if it's satire or sarcasm or whatever? It doesn't know. I think it's really dangerous. I've got a lot more resolved in this conversation. I know what it's good for. It's a great research tool. Make sure you ask for the resources, and then you can, if you're using it, you can actually credit people That's where it is. And it might take you 30. If you're writing some thing about, I don't know, ball bearings, it'll write you all the copy you need. I don't think you need to worry about that, and that'll be fine. Apart from the demand for copy, if you want to rank for that, it's just going to go through the roof because everyone's going to be doing the same thing. So it's not actually going to help anyone necessarily. I'm resolved. It's we should resist the urge. If you're using it for low-level stuff, that's fine. If you're using it for research, that's fine. Get the sources, but don't rely on this because could get ugly, I think, especially now Microsoft are behind it. Anything else you want to say?
No. Good session. Thank you.
Good. 2 good sessions today. I think Clay took on board in the last couple of weeks. We've had 2 good sessions.
Good sessions over the last couple of weeks, yeah.
Excellent. All right, cool. In which case, we only need to thank anyone who's been with us to watch this. Thank you for being here. I'd like to thank you for being here, Mr. Cunliffe. It's been interesting, a little bit funny as always. If you haven't yet liked, shared, subscribed, commented, done all those good things, then that would help us enormously if you could take a second to do that right now. And we will be here, or I certainly will be here the next time you come along. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to check out this episode of Reaction Time. If you found this interesting and useful, then YouTube thinks you are also going to enjoy this, and this is the latest thing that we've produced. If you haven't yet, and you could take a second to like, share, subscribe, and comment, then that would do us a whole load of good, and it will give us the motivation to continue on this epic, epic journey.